guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at a new filming spot location because guess what? I had that total redesign of the luxury spec mid-size 3-row SUV from Buick. What is it? It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2026 Buick Enclave Avenir. But before we get into this all-wheel drive, all new look to the Avenir Enclave, let's talk about what's going on here. So Buick, believe it or not, is a premium brand from General Motors, and their history goes back decades. And it's interesting because, yes, Buick has sort of fallen from grace when it comes to vehicles and vehicle sales here in the United States, but in other parts of the world, they've been selling like they've been going out of style. And it's crazy because Buick used to have some vehicles that would just knock your socks off. Now, they're trying. They're working towards coming back to where they should be in the automobile market. And it's fascinating because there's other luxury brands that have kind of stepped back with some of their luxury quality. Buick is trying to regain that foothold. And I think with this Enclave Avenir, you might be surprised with the amount of luxury it brings. But what I want to find out is it the must-own mid-size 3-row SUV? If you want those special touches, if you want to stand out from the rest of the crowd, let's go ahead, let's dive into this Enclave Avenir and find out. Right off the bat, great color. It's called Moonstone Gray, and it's like a silver metallic gray with a lot of metal flake in it. Definitely more metal flake than your father's Bass Pro fishing boat. Now, up front, you do have LED daytime running lamps and turn signals in that split housing setup. Working our way down, there's your LED headlights, and everything is moonstone except for a little bit of chrome and a little bit of gloss black. But the way that they sculpted the front end, especially taking design from the Wildcat concept vehicle, you could see those touches in this Enclave. Now, as we come across the front grille, nice large opening. You got a combination of gloss black with chrome accents. I'm glad they did that instead of doing full chrome. That would have been too much bling at the front. Forward-facing camera, nicely hidden. And then working our way down to ground level, you do have your moonstone gray, some gloss black, and then some chrome just on the lip. But if you compare this to the previous model generation, it looks so much better, so much better. Now, as we rise up, another thing that really stands out is the Buick badge. Something so simple, but yet when they changed it and they modernized it, it really fits nicely in today's automotive industry. You got a clean indentation in the center, and then you got two soft indentations on both sides of the hood. Really gives it a unique look. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So you're gonna get these polished aluminum wheels, split spoke design all the way around. This is a 22-inch wheel. Tires are 275 on the width. That's pretty wide tire. 45 series sidewall. This has all-wheel drive, so it's front-wheel drive base, and then it sends power to the rear wheels. Love the way they have everything painted around the fender openings. And it's just the simple touches like that that really stand out. But let me know what you think about the wheel design with this particular Enclave. Now, coming down the side, you do have your moonstone gray on the mirror caps, LED turn signals, 360-degree cameras, the Avenir badge. I don't mind where it is. I just wish they could call it something other than Avenir. Something that feels fuddy-duddy about it. And I feel like that's what Buick needs to do to shed some of that fuddy-duddy image that it has. But like I said, they're trying, they're working on it. You do have your closed roof rails, nice aluminum finish, bright shiny metalwork on the top and the bottom, and then you're gonna have a mixture of color matched on the door handles with some chrome, and everything is painted moonstone gray with a little bit of bright shiny metalwork trim on the bottom. Now, working our way towards the rear, good sized quarter glass. We got power going to the rear because we have all-wheel drive, and then spinning around the back, I really love the rear end of this SUV. Nice long roof spoiler. You got your third brake light blended in. That's a digital rear view mirror and a washer. I just wish they would get rid of this wiper. Put the wiper, because that would just make this rear end stand out even more. But look at the way they sculpted the taillights. Absolutely gorgeous. Enclave all-wheel drive with the Buick badge. And then working our way down to ground level, you do have functional exhaust on both sides, nice stainless steel tips. I don't mind that they look like vacuum cleaner nozzles. They blended nicely, the lower bumper. And then of course this panel comes off because you could tow up to 5,000 pounds with this Enclave. And then of course they finish it off with a little bit of chrome trim. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood because there's something all new underneath. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. The big talking point, probably the big zonk, is that there's no V6. The V6 is gone. What do we have instead? We have a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline four. Good news is more horsepower and torque. 328 horsepower, 326 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic. 0 to 60 in about 6.6 seconds. Top speed 130 miles per hour. MPGs with the all-wheel drive, you're looking at 20 in the city and 24 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 4,734 pounds. So nice to have the option of the all-wheel drive. It's also nice to be able to have 5,000 pounds towing capacity. But I know right now you're hurting because you want that V6. Well, I don't have it for you, but why don't we fire this one up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this Moonstone Gray 2026 Buick Enclave Avenir. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm actually shocked so far. I haven't even seen the interior of this thing. I was thinking about getting a Lexus, but some of the materials on the Lexus vehicles is kind of lacking. But how much is this Enclave Avenir? This particular one, the way it's spec'd, has an MSRP of $66,000. Let's see what you get when you go Buick. To the door panels, love the new two-tone. The dark blue with the wood finish. You have a Bose 16-speaker sound system with those nice aluminum speaker grill covers. And then you do have the beige, which is not my favorite. But look at the way they did the perforations. Nice style and touches, and then a little bit of this bronze copper finish. Door pocket is big enough. You could go to Panera, get yourself a bacon turkey Bravo, and a side salad, and a nice large glass of iced tea. Now going from the door panel to the dash, this blue really makes this Enclave feel so much different. Even the way they did this trim here, this aluminum style trim, the perforations, it's just, I don't see how somebody that has kids or a dog is gonna be able to keep this interior clean. That's the problem. But it is beautiful, the materials are great. Slide on in, you got 30 inches of OLED uninterrupted screen. All the fixins, your Google Maps, you can go into all the different apps, ambient lighting. Look at all the freaking colors. Remember how back in kindergarten that kid made you cry because he wouldn't let you borrow any of his crayons? Now you got more crayons than that kid. The hell with him. And then we got cameras, which the clarity is really, really fantastic. 360 all the way around and even out the front. And then of course we're right back where we started. Now the other bit of great news is you do have 3 stages of ventilated seats and 3 stages of heated seats. But the bad news is you got to touch the screen to get to the seat controls. But the good news is if you want AC, you just use the toggle switches. Dual climate, nice blower fan. I like the way they did that finish to the switchgear. Look on the screen. Watch this. You ready for a surprise? Take that, Lexus. We got massage seats for both the driver and the passenger. Nice to use the seat controls, or you could touch the screen if you want to. It's up to you. And then we're right back where we started. You do have a floating center console area. Love the copper tone finish. Wireless charging. Real volume knob. A place for red hots. 2 cup holders. And then down below you got enough room for a purse, a purse, a sack, a satchel, a hat. Even a pair of shoes, and there's also a 12 volt down there. That leather material, the stitching, open it up, look at this. You could put at least 3 watches in there, maybe the family jewels, and you got enough room. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. That goes back in there. You have enough room to put your Louis Vuitton purse that your husband doesn't know of. You could keep it in there. Why does he need to know? Until he reads the credit card statement. Seats, the leather, the Avenir name embroidered, the perforation. Look at the piping, the blue piping. Full electric assist with the massage for the passenger. The driver, we got a panoramic sunroof with a power shade. And to top it off, you got a full digital rear view mirror. So they're bringing the tech, and they're definitely bringing the style. Why don't you come over here to the business center? I want to show you behind the blue wheel in this Enclave. All right, guys, you got 2 memory seat settings for the driver. I do like the very clean aluminum Avenir sill plate. Got all your seat controls, easy to get to. I'm 6 feet tall, and I love the room in this Enclave. Steering wheel. I'm glad they're taking some risks. The blue, I feel, really works in here. You'll notice ours has the Super Cruise. That's a semi-autonomous hands-free driving. And you have a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Plastic paddles, I wish they were metal or at least silver, to go up and down the 8-speed automatic. You got your different drive modes, and you could turn on and off your all-wheel drive all at the press of a button. Now, on the infotainment side of the screen, you'll see when I go into the different modes, sport, snow, ice, tour, off-road, tow, haul, they got it all. We're going to keep it in sport. Plus, I almost forgot, there's a USB-C and a USB-A down there. Like I said, steering wheel, fantastic. And then the rest of that OLED screen display. Nice to have those quality graphics. Information comes up. Look at this. You can bring up your maps, whatever you want, however you want it. Nice and clean. Great graphics. And there's a head-up display. So take that, Lexus. I had to pause for a second there. But why don't we go ahead? Let's get in the mid-row and the third row and see if the Enclave Avenir is the way to go. All right, guys, mid-row time. Did a great job on the leather, the seats. Of course, the mid-row slides and it reclines. I'm going to give it half a zonk. It just needs to be a little bit wider for the captain's chair armrest. Other than that, looks fantastic. You got large pockets here. Put some Mad Libs, some coloring books. Keep the kids active and distracted that way than just going on their damn phone. I'm so sick of the phone. You got your 2 cup holders, blower fan, temperature for your AC controls. Only heated seats. I'm a little depressed that there's no ventilated seats back here, but you do have 2 USB-Cs, a home power source, and a place for 4 Twinkies down there. And then, like I said, sitting here, seats are great. The AC vents are mounted nice and high up top. They do recline. And they do slide. And what we're gonna do is that right here in the back, it's actually in the back of the seat, you're gonna hit that and it's gonna slide the seat out of the way. And we're gonna get in this third row. Not too bad. My knees could be a little bit lower, but trust me, I've been in mid-size SUVs where my knees are in my freaking mouth. If you notice, this isn't leather. This is more like a vinyl and it's just flat. I don't know why they can't give it a little bit of ergonomics for your body, some shape for your body. Your butt isn't just flat. Well, maybe there are some people out there with flat butts, but this should have a little curve to it. I do have USB-Cs. The other thing that's kind of sad is that you just have plastic on these armrests. But it actually is not too shabby back here from a comfort standpoint, especially where they mount the AC vents. But let's go ahead, let's get into the cargo area, because I want to take you for a drive in this Buick. All right, guys, time to get in that cargo area. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. You hit the button, nice electric assist. Now, if you have the key fob in your pocket, the vehicle will sense that and will automatically lift the rear tailgate for you. So if your hands are full, that really comes in handy. Now, the cargo area, I left the third row up because I wanted to show you just how much room there is. How much room do we have? With the third row up, it's 23 cubic feet of space. Now, to make that turn into 57 cubic feet of space, you're gonna just fold down that third row and you gotta hold down the button. It's a 60-40 split. Nice fast acting. And then of course that mid row can fold down and that's gonna give you almost 90 cubic feet of space. You do have, like I said, those USB-Cs. The challenge is this lighter carpet. That's a challenge. But you do have a 12 volt, which is great. And the other good news is that you do have some nice storage underneath. This is where you're gonna wanna put all the dirty items. So if you go to the beach, put all that stuff in here. because that interior isn't going to be able to handle it. It's not going to be able to handle it. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm ready. We don't have a V6, but does that mean that it's any lesser of an SUV? Why don't we go hop in and find out? All right, guys, we're inside this 2026 Buick Enclave. I'm going to go ahead and put it into sport mode, and then we're going to go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. 8-speed drops down, and we are off and running. Nice smooth shifts from that 8-speed automatic. And of course, when it comes to the handling, that's where they really worked on the chassis, the all-wheel drive system. You get a nice large head-up display, and those 30 inches of uninterrupted screen is really, really beautiful. They did a great job on that. Heated steering wheel, of course. And visibility is fantastic. Not only out the windshield, but also with your digital rear view mirror. I'm gonna go ahead, why not? Put the massage seats on. There we go, I'm gonna set that. And we are locked and loaded with those controls. Easy to figure out, easy to make happen. And I just love the simplicity and how everything is laid out in here. You could easily get right back to home. Of course, you have all your different apps. You could bring up the cameras while you're driving. I could shut off that pesky auto start stop feature. On throttle, here we go. Yes, you hear 4-cylinder turbo. Remember, there is no V6 option, so you are going to get that 4-cylinder turbo sound. But the good news is, like I said, if you're into numbers, you do get more horsepower and more torque. I prefer a V6 because there is a bit of turbo lag and it is noisy. The cameras, though, the fact that you can leave them on while you're driving is a nice extra touch. A lot of brands, you can't do that with their cameras, but you can in this Enclave. Really, really great seats. Not only the leather quality, but the cushion quality and the fact that they're both massage seats up front. And everything is well sorted in here. They did a really good job with how they laid out all the interior. It's quiet. It's comfortable, and you got plenty of room with that 3-row flexibility. So we're on the highway, and I really wanted to show the Super Cruise feature, one of the best semi-autonomous hands-free driving experiences. It does a great job in feeling very natural once you get used to taking your hands and feet off of the controls. And GM probably has the best one, better than Blue Cruise, better than anything that Tesla is doing. They keep adding more and more miles a road, whether it be highway roads, even back roads are being added to the Super Cruise lineup. And it really allows you to sit back and relax, enjoy your massage, and it's such a good system. Keeps enough space in between you and the car in front of you, and the way it changes lanes is very effective as well. And like I said, it just takes a little bit getting used to not having your hands on the steering wheel, but nice to have that in this Buick Enclave. Let's speed up a little bit here. But getting to that 30 inches of uninterrupted screen is well within reach. Everything is so well laid out in here. And as you can see, the system works so effectively. Not getting a bunch of wind noise, a little bit of road noise, but nothing that's too out of the extraordinary. It's just interesting because there's some brands that, like I said, are luxury brands that are not putting as luxurious touches on their interior, and here you have Buick doing the total opposite. Now let's see this thing change lanes. It should eventually change lanes on its own, or you could do it itself. It actually checks and does the lane change for you and then speeds back up. So really cool the way it's flexible like that. And then to deactivate the system, that's it. We're deactivated. I shut off cruise and I shut off Super Cruise, all in one swoop.
Exit 10 to merge onto I-4 West toward Tampa International.
But just a really nice driving environment. I just wish that you could get the blue with like a gray interior rather than this beige. Beige is a little fuddy-duddy to me. And if Buick is trying to shake that stigma, then it needs to get rid of the beige. Beige needs to go. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. But this vehicle is one of those vehicles that you could spend a long day driving the family around on a road trip, and you're gonna feel as fresh as a daisy. That's how nice it rides and drives, and all of the great qualities in here, whether it be the materials or the technology, really elevates the experience in this Enclave Avenir. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what this new 2026 Buick Enclave Avenir is bringing. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways. Definitely got to thank everybody at Buick for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Enclave, they totally redesigned it. They changed the attitude of it, but is it enough to make it that must-own luxury SUV? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Got to give up to Stephen Flood. Even he is kind of surprised with what this Buick is bringing. And Stephen wasn't even born when they came out with the Buick Grand National. Just want to throw that out there. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.